Gemara. Today we're going to discuss about bracha making our medicines and medicines that taste good. Also, a big nice by me was, which I had an argument nice with Shlomo Miller, was about making a bracha on Metamucil. You heard of Metamucil?
That's what we get to.
Right? Yeah, you heard of Metamucil?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a healthy drink.
Not up to that yet.
What?
I'm not up to that yet.
You're not up to that yet.
Fiber is right up his front.
What?
It's fiber in it, there was nothing else.
It's not too healthy? Oh, it's not too healthy?
Fiber.
That's fiber in it, yeah. That's fiber in it.
What is fiber?
Sawdust. Okay, fine. Yeah.
What's fiber?
No way. What? I'm gonna use the sawdust. Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll get to it. Like upon him. So let's see what we could get to today. Yeah. I'm still on? Yeah, okay, fine. So we have here the Gemara by Shemen. We say the reason why you don't make a bracha on Shemen because Shemen is mazik. So since it's mazik, you don't make a bracha. Anything that's mazik, you don't make a bracha on. Now, the shaila is why don't you make a bracha on something which is mazik? So we spoke about last week. We said maybe it's a machlekes and Rashi two pshatim. Rashi by us said that because since Rashi's lashon was that the reason if something is a mazik, legufe ve'ein zu achilo shetuuna bracha together bracha v'achaltek. So if you're not eating it, you're being mazik, you're destroying it. Either we said Rashi and Yuma says either you're destroying the object or you're destroying yourself. Like upon him down with the machlekes, what's considered they being mazik. So therefore we see a sugi over here that if something's being mazik, if something is mazik, you don't make a bracha. Then the Gemara on Lamed Vav Amud Aleph said, something that you're taking for a fool, you shouldn't make a bracha b'chlal. Since I'm having anah from it, besides for the refuah, I'm having anah from it, Rashi said. The isla anah is like Rashi, levada refuah yesh la anah sachila. Besides for the refuah aspect of it, I'm also having anah. It tastes good. So therefore, kamash malon, you have to make a bracha. So if something's just made for refuah and you don't have any anah from it b'chlal, you don't have to make a bracha. Over here, it's for refuah and you're having anah. So there's two nakudas. There's one fact that it's a refuah, it's a medicine. The second fact is that you're having anah. Therefore, zok the Gemara over here that you make a bracha. So pashtus, you learn the Gemara. Anything that's made for refuah and you're having anah, good. Talmud tastes good. Vitamins that taste good. Anything like that, the chayr comes out. You should make a bracha. Let's see. Shulchan to see how we pass like this lemais. Shulchan Aruch and Reish Dalet Sif Ches says Allah. Kol ha'oichlin va'amashkin she'adam oichel v'shoysel refuah. Any food, drink that a person takes for refuah. Im taimon toiv v'acheich neneman. If it tastes good, and the cheich is nana. Mevorach aleim tchila v'soif, you make a bracha tchila v'soif. That is this halacha, what we just saw in the Gemara, before the Gemara, you make a bracha tchila and soif. Zokter ma, im ansu lechoy le'lishtais, but if someone forces you to eat or to drink, af agav da cheich nana man, mimenu, even though you're having anah, ein mevorach aleim. Hayil v'nenes al kach. Since L'maisa, he was nanas on it. So we have a mechaber that tells you that if you take medicine that has a good taste, make a bracha. Dr. Ma, if you were forced to eat, even though it has a good taste, you don't make a bracha. What's the pshat? Why don't you make a bracha? So the Mishabura explains, and before we see the Mishabura, let's see Sif Tes. Which means we have a problem between the Mishabura, the Ramah, and the Mechaber. The Mechaber said if it tastes good. If it's taken for medicine, you make a bracha. That's the mechaber. The Ramah comes along. It doesn't look like he's arguing. He's just being meisif. If you were forced to eat it and it tastes good, you don't make a bracha. Why not? Tasting good, l'chayr should be mechayiv you a bracha. So l'chayr we have a steer the Ramah to the mechaber. Let's do another mechaber. Siftas. Ochal mashke, ochal meichel, ay mashke shall issa. Sibnei sakana. Never you were forced to eat, but it's also the gemeichel. Zok the mechaber. Mevarich olav tchila b'sayf. You make a bracha tchila b'sayf. You were forced to eat. Why were you forced? Because sakana. Yeah, someone has a gun down on your face and he tells you, you don't eat this, I'm going to kill you. And you go ahead and it's asa. It's asa, it's treifus. Still, you make a bracha. What's the pshat? Because the Maisi, I don't know. So it comes out, fact, the Mishabura and other Achrenim, how does the Ramah stem with that mechaber? The Ramah should argue right now and say, sorry, if you are forced, you don't make a bracha. Like you just said in Sif Ches. In Sif Ches, he doesn't argue. So the Mishabura and Sif Katan Memeh is bothered with the Shaila. He goes under Ramah, and the Ramah says, Apagav Dechech, V'loi domi l'mashe kasav l'kamei b'Sif Tes. Not similar to what it says later on in Sif Tes, why? Kivon da'akal panim nehene. You're having a no after gam shama chilase de einis. What's the difference? Einis sakana, einis being forced. Same thing. Shiny awesome. The einis ain't ala achila gufa. Over there, the einis is not on the achila. Is only on the achila. Masha'in kenacha she'achila gufa. Who are the einis? She'einsim oisei la'achloi lo'shayich bezel l'chayva l'varach al an asa. Kivan shubakach. The eating itself is what you're being forced. Since the eating itself is what you're being forced, therefore you don't make a bracha. And I'm go with them. The kivan shesoiv soiv nana migroinim mizech hashiva achila b'tzarach avarach hazeh kilis iftes amchal adam shechir the pass among the sviv v'chsamach minataya yivar akapanim. We have it. The Mishabur explaining to us why the Ramah does not argue in Sifches. It depends what type of sakana. If the sakana is that this guy is telling you that he's going to put a gun to your head, he puts a gun to your head and forces you to eat. So he's not really forcing you to eat. What he's forcing you is that he's telling you, else I'm going to kill you. So therefore, you weren't forced on the food itself. You can eat the food, you make a bracha. Masha'enkein, by an einus where someone is stuffing the food down your throat, over there, you will not make a bracha, and the Ramah then is going to kula al. So let's say we have now three cases. We have a case that someone ate something for gesund, for refuah. What's the halacha? If he has enough from it, he makes a bracha. That's the first mechaber. We have a second case, a Ramah, that tells you you ate ba'inus. There's Dr. Ramah, even though you're having enough, you don't make a bracha. The third case is you were forced to sakana, then you make a bracha. Even what? No. The Ramah is talking about that you're being forced. Now, why isn't it forced? What?
With a gun.
No, the Ramah is not with a gun. The mechaber is mnei sakana with a gun.
Oh.
The Ramah is done, but you're being forced. Whatever it is, someone's pushing it down your throat. So you're being forced to eat. Rabbi Lo is asking that when you're eating a pill for a fool, yeah, so it's also being forced. Somewhat you're being forced, you don't want to eat this. So you're being forced, and the Mechaber says if it tastes good, you make a bracha. The Ramah comes along and says, for a fool, you don't make a bracha. Sorry, for Einus, you don't make a bracha. What's the difference, Einus and refuah? It's the exact same thing. The reason why you're eating it for is because of you're forced. What type of difference is refuah to a Einus? Right? Good question. Very good question, Rabbi Lovett. So now, let's try to understand a little bit what's this Ramah talking. The Ramah says if you are forced to eat, drink, you do not make a bracha. The Lavush, the Rabba, Chamin Moshe, the Besmeh, they all go with this Ramah, La Halacha, that if you're forced to eat, you don't make a bracha. The Taz, the Magen Avraham, Bichodosh, the Matiyuda, the guy and argue And they say, no, this is exactly like sakana and siftes, and therefore you do make a bracha. So we have a machlokes if there is arguing in the mechaber not. We have machlokes if there's a machlokes. Zok techay adam that by pass you should because it's rice, but without that, avad you do not make a bracha. So now, Lemaisa, let's go with the Ramah itself that if you're forced to eat, you don't make a bracha even though it tastes good. Question: you go to your friend's house, and the only reason why you're eating is only because you're making him feel good. We know all the Maisa with the Shpala Zayda, that he went to someone's house, and the thing was salty, and he told the lady, just keep on, he wanted more and more and more soup, and they looked at him, the Rebbe, how much could you eat? And afterwards they were mavara that it was salty, he didn't want anyone else to eat it. So he ate it only because he was forced, he wanted to make this person feel good. Do you make a bracha on this or not? L'chayra. That no, that no one else should make fun of this lady, the wife. Yeah, Litvak wouldn't do that. But a Litvak would do.
We get up and make a drasha. How can you do this?
Yeah, how can you do this? A chutzpah. It's right? So now we made it a funny case. But many times you go to your neighbor for a suda, or you go to your children, or you go to HaRav, you go to Simcha, and you don't like the food. Well, what are you going to do? You don't want to make the person feel bad, so you eat it. You don't like it. So the shaila is, should we go ahead and not make a bracha? That's called a force. What? Right? That's called your force. L'chayr, you should not make a bracha. The reason why you drink it, you don't want to embarrass the person. The person makes you a coffee. So should add 7 ml instead of putting in sugar, they put in salt. Never happened to you?
It has that.
Okay. So now why are you eating it? Because the guy made a coffee. All of a sudden you became, no, sorry, I woke up, I don't need the coffee. You don't want to do that. So you say that I went ahead and I drank this coffee because it was good. The mice you were forced to eat it. What? Exactly. I don't know what he's going to put in there. So now, l'chayra, from our sugya, it should come out, it's a klora ma, you should not be making a bracha. That's a big problem. You'll have many people not making bracha many times. Not many people, but I'm saying upon them, if you don't like your wife's supper, which can happen once a week, and then you go and you're eating it because you don't want to make her feel bad, you should not be making a bracha. That could be a big problem. So, the Minchas Asher, I'm sure you heard of him, Rabbi Shavais, in Shuvas Chelik Beis, he says, Avadi Mechuyev to make a bracha. Kiva, he says, the Chala Eichel V'Shoyse Kederech Hana. Kederech B'nei Adam Eichel V'Shoyse La'anasam Chayev L'var. Since you're eating it the normal way, you're Mechuyev to make a bracha. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean you're eating it a normal way? What do you think the Ramah is talking about? The Ramah says you're being forced to eat, you don't make a bracha. So what does it mean? What does it mean you're eating it a normal way, you make a bracha? You're being forced to eat this. Why am I forced? Because I need this, whatever it is. But I'm forced to eat this. So why is this different than the Ramah? Yeah? Good cash on Rabbi Weiss?
No.
Why?
What does forced mean? Why are you being forced to eat it?
Because I'm such a nice person, I'm a rebel, and I'm a nice person. I don't want to make that person feel bad. I know that there's a lot in the Torah, you're not going to be malvin. So Mela, I'm eating it. This lady's going to feel very bad. She's going to turn red in the face. So Mela, I'm going to be over at Tzicha. So Mela, I'm going to go ahead and eat it. So I'm forced to eat it. I mamish don't want to eat this thing.
It's your Russian. Not your force. It's not someone else's Russian. It's your Russian.
Why is it my Russian?
You want to be a nice guy. You feel good afterwards when you do a nice thing.
Okay, so I feel good, but not because that I ate the food. If I would have a garbage right next to me, I would even feel better.
No, but you still feel good.
I understand, but feeling good is not mitzvah the food. I don't like the food. I'm being forced to eat this food.
Still
No.
feel good. Plus of it.
Nobody's forcing you to eat the food. You're making your own decision.
Right, but the reason why I made that decision, how could someone talk?
Halacha.
Oh.
Halacha, but Mav Lechler Barav.
Right, the reason why I made the decision is I wish I wouldn't be in this matzav that I'm in. I would wish I could run out and get at Solikol right now. I'm here. So
You can't call it an oinus. It's your bechira chavshis.
okay, so that's a little bit what Rabbi Black is saying. I don't know who's speaking. I don't have anything on my. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Akapanim. What happened to my computer here? But anyways, so so you're being so you're timing that Lamaisa, it's not considered forced because what I'm doing is more just the fact that I'm doing what I want to do, not what I was forced to do. Basically, that's what you're saying. It's not what I was forced to do. It's more what I want to do inside myself.
I want to be the Shpoler Rebbe.
Now, because I want to be the Shmuel Rebbe for those 5 minutes. Now that's pretty good. Now let's say like this. Let's say, what do you think this Einus was in talking about the Einus in the Ramah? What was going on there? Let's think of any scenario. What type of scenario can you think of? What was the Einus? The guy didn't come with a gun. That's a sakana. So what happened? The guy is holding you down, and he's pushing you down, right? Let's say, right? He's pushing it down your throat. So over there, you have no ruts into the eating b'chlal. Now you could really fight the guy. You're not interested in fighting the guy. You're just you're being forced. So over there, you're saying that it's complete honest. I think that's a very good svara, and that's why I asked it to Reb Chaim Kanievsky. Reb Chaim Kanievsky told me that also tzarich levarach avada. In this case, tzarich levarach. Now, the next question would be: is let's say a parent forces a child to eat. Today, especially, parents want the child to eat greens, broccoli, HaRav, anything that's healthy. Kid eats nasha all day, comes up for supper, and the mother says, "I want you to eat. I want you to eat this food. Should I mechuyev to make a bracha?" So I asked the Shlomo Miller, and he said the same type of text. Over here, the only reason why you're not eating it is only because your action. That's why the kid doesn't want to eat it. So that's why there's a force. But be'etzim, he's not being forced. He's not being forced. It's only because he's an action. So he made himself not want to eat it. But be'etzim, he could eat it. So therefore, he's obligated to make a bracha. Question: the guy that's being forced to eat the food, you're the action. You don't want to eat it. Someone else is forcing you. But your action. Don't be such action and eat it. He's telling that only because you don't want it.
We agree that everybody agrees that's it.
Yeah, why? So, but they also can
He
eat
doesn't
it.
like spinach. He doesn't make
No, so they also can eat it. When the guy's forcing you to eat something, stop fighting him. Just eat it. Zayin connection.
You don't have to not like the spinach, but the Asian machine you want to give him, no.
No, it's the same thing again. This guy tells me, I'm forcing you to eat this food. That's the Ramah. What's the Ramah's case? We have to have a case for the Ramah. What happened there? This guy's telling me I'm forced to eat it. And you're screaming, no, bloody, no, I'm not eating it, right? So we tell you, you're not mechuyev in a bracha. Stop being action. Eat. It's just as action. He's not giving you tafis. Why is he starting? Because you don't want. So Zayin connection. Zok the Minchas Osher. Now, I don't know if he says it, but I'm telling you this is what he means. You can ask him. I don't have his number. But Akaponim, what he means, I think, is like this. It depends on the tzura. Over here, the kid is sitting. The kid doesn't want to eat this broccoli. The mother says, "You don't need this. You don't get dessert." Okay, I'm going to stop with that. But it looks like a regular ma'aseh achila happening here. Masha'enke, when the Ramah is talking about, we're talking about a guy's over you. I think like this tzaddik over here is saying, the guy's over you and he's pushing the fork down your throat. So it doesn't look like a ma'aseh achila. Since it doesn't look like a ma'aseh achila, that's why you pop it. That's why you don't make a bracha. Yeah, you're not doing the tzuras of achila. A chiddush nifla.
That's like a chila, but no gather.
I don't know if I'm quoting his lashon. I don't have the lashon atkan lashon, but I think I'm quoting his lashon. I would have to look it up again.
It's not quite like a chila.
Yeah, because I'm asking you Chava like this. I'm asking you a simple question. You're telling me because over here I'm an action. Shlomo Miller. Let's go to Shlomo Miller. Shlomo Miller told me a child is being the action. You know what? When someone's forcing you to eat, the Ramah's case, you're also being action. Stop being distraction. Give in to the guy, and then you can eat like a normal person. So I think what the Minchas Osher would mean, even if he doesn't mean that, we're saying that there's a difference in how lemaisi you're eating. If you're eating with a fork and a plate, and lemaisi you're sitting down eating it, you were forced to eat it, or you came to your friend and you didn't want to eat it, lemaisi eating it. I'm doing a regular tzuras. I'm doing a regular Ma'aser Achila. Inside of me is burning oich tafas essen. That doesn't make a difference. You don't see enough kamina. Masha'in kain. When I'm eating it with someone pushing it down my throat, then the taka won't make a bracha. Because then I don't see the tzuras achila. You asking Rabbi Lowy? We can't say dingen. And unaf kamina. But I'm sparing it from the way the poskim are saying it. Because over here I'm also being forced. And the Moshe says you don't make a bracha. So why am I being forced? Because I'm an action.
I think with the kid,
Yeah.
he doesn't like the bracha. He wants to eat. Give him something else.
Yeah, he'll eat. True.
He'll eat.
True.
So there, the Mekushah is saying, love people, love world eats broccoli. You don't like it, but if somebody eats a macha that doesn't like the broccoli, go for that. If you don't like it, doesn't go with any person personally. It's a very choil.
Okay. Masha'in kain.
But the put about it, I think the sick person.
No, we're not talking about sick. He's talking about not sick.
Somebody who's shocked.
Shach man, shach.
Otherwise, it throws him.
Right.
So you're forcing him to eat. There, he doesn't want the achila b'chalav.
Okay, so Rabbi Lowy is trying to make an afkamina, which I think is a bigger chiddush. He's trying to say that let's say you have an old person. Old person, I mean over 110, yeah? A real old person. He's sitting there. He has no cheshik to eat b'chlal. And you tell him, no, eat every fork. You tell him, you don't push it down his throat. You tell him, eat. He doesn't make a bracha. That's what Rabbi Lowy is asking. That's their law. That's their law. Yeah. So Rabbi Lowy is saying a massive chiddush. That over there you won't make a bracha. I'm saying not such a chiddush. Right? You're saying that's their law. I'm saying, you have a right to say that. That's their law. I'm saying not like that. The way I'm saying it is, no, even then Avadim to make a bracha. If the aide is there and pushing it down his throat, mamish, then you won't make a bracha, because then I don't see a derech achil. But that's how I see this einus in their mouth. Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm saying that's the pshat in Rabbi Weiss. I don't know if that's what he meant or not. We can't fragen like he's saying.
Well, the Meister, this is a big nigga Meister, an older person.
Right.
Often they don't want to eat.
Right.
This is the shiloh we made the bracha.
Yeah, you come home, you tell your wife, I'm not in the mood of eating, and your wife says, "Oh, I'll eat that whole plate." Right?
Yeah.
Then like Rabbi Lowy's telling you don't make a bracha. That's a big chiddush. The what? Yeah.
Best enforces a man to give again. This is okay, they hit him and all that. What does he give? Right? So it's a good get.
Yeah.
Same thing, the mother. He's eating the broccoli. All right. So the mice, this is his mother. Is ready to go. That is not.
What are they asking for all the people?
I hold that Avadi make a bracha. Because the end of the day is he's having a no. So Zalman clears the shaila be'etzim. So Zalman says, Tzorech Ian. Every night supper. I don't know, when we were kids it wasn't so much like that, but now the children, they don't want to eat whatever the mother makes. That night they don't want to eat. The next night they want to eat what they made yesterday. But for that night, whenever it's a teva, they come, what's for supper? Oh, this is what I didn't want to eat. Right? So if so, Shlomo Zalman is bothered. Why? Tzarachin, Shlomo Zalman writes. Why do they make a bracha? That's what Shlomo Zalman's are. Okay, so now, Lamaisa, you have to understand. I mean, like, I was speaking to Rabbi Felder once about this, and he said, you can't say that they're being mamish forced, but it's a bigger force. Obviously, there's ways to get out of it. But our shaila is really, we want to know Pasha Taich in the Ramah. The Ramah tells you, Einus, on Sul Lecho, being forced to eat, you don't make a bracha. Finish. The first Ramah. We go with the Chai Adam, the Chsamazin, bread, yeah. But the Ramah itself says, you do not make a bracha when you're forced to eat. That's what we have to really understand, is what does this mean, this Ramah's din. Okay, we'll leave that for the Eilam. The Ma'aser to tell you that you don't make a bracha if a guy doesn't want to eat, that's a chiddush to say. So we're not going to say such a chiddush. Rabbi Lo, you masking? No. Okay. Yeah.
When you do actually gasa, person's full, you make a bracha.
Okay, so that's a good shayla. Achila gasa, if a person is so full, does he make a bracha? Right. If your mom, that means achila gasa. Right. Right. So now what?
When you agree that Shleik Derech you don't make a bracha.
Shleik Derech you don't make a bracha. That means
transfusion you don't make a bracha.
right. You don't make a bracha. Transfusion will make a bracha. If so, they're asking over here a very good shaila. If someone is eating achila gasa, and Rabbi Lowy is saying in Yom Kippur, you're not over. You eat achila gasa with the rice. So if so, you should not make a bracha. Now, I hope that no one ever got to this madrega. I just want to say achila gasa doesn't just mean it doesn't mean that you're full. It means your mom is disgusted.
Like an old man. Like an old man, it's like a guy.
No, that's a big thing. No, that's a big thing. No, it's just like psychological block, not a.
It's psychological block. He's hungry. We know he's hungry. That's why we're forcing him to eat.
Right.
He's not achila gasa.
It's a good story, but.
Yeah. Right, Evan Kippur. Right. That's achila gasa. Sanachanami, maybe achila gasa. Yitaka won't make a bracha. Okay. So let's move on over here. What we have to discuss is more with medicines and the kudus if you make a bracha or not. So now, there are more paskins in Siman Reish Dalet Sifyat Aleph. V'chol markachas.
What's the Rav Kachas?
She'ein briyim regilim by ela l'refuah mevarchen olav sha'aka. Mishabura in Sifkat Nun Hey says, V'ayin bedek abayis she'kasav she'rei v'apais kumchalkim hazeh v'chein eskimu ha'achreinim l'tzarech l'varach al-bracha l'uya kivin sha'kapanim nana.
Who is this Bedek by the Rashba? Is it the Ra? Is it Bedek by the Ra?
Bedek abayis kivin is the Ra, or the Beisayis brings Beisayis himself.
Talk
Bedek abayis. Yeah,
He uses a lot of color place to club.
it's the Beisayis. Bedek abayis is the Beisayis.
Quoting.
No, it's himself. In the Beis Yosef on the Torah, yeah, the Beis Yosef a lot of times on the Torah, right. Okay, so this, he's bringing that the Bedek Abayis, which is the Beis Yosef quoting, that says that right Paiskim hold that you do make a regular bracha, but the Ramah says that you don't make a regular bracha. You only make a shakla. Moshe says you make a regular bracha. That's the machlokas. Now, so let's talk about our vitamins. So you make a bracha on our vitamins. You take Tums. You take Tums, you take Melanta, whatever it is, you have heartburn. Normally the things that you can eat have a regular, half decent taste. Right? So you like the taste. If so, do you make a bracha or not? Agut Shaiva. So, l'chayra, the Gemara said by us, Shemen Isleana, you make a bracha. By Bruche, the Shechanach Paskin. Kol Eichland and B'Shechanach that we saw earlier. Sif Ches. Kol Eichland v'Mashkin she'adam Eichel v'Shoyse. L'refuah. Im Tamam Toiv v'Achech Nenamam v'Achlem Tchilim B'Sayf. So we have all the reason to make a bracha. There's no reason why you take a tam. Nachashakum. L'chayr. There's the Shevet HaKahasi. That's a Belzer.
Question that people are the chesed men from pills. So question.
No, not all pills. I'm talking about Tums, Malanta, vitamin C, whatever you're biting, right? You're chewing the mouth, children's Tylenol. You should tell them to make a bracha. One second, don't leave it. I'm just done. Yeah, we're going to get there. We'll see. So you learn the Shechanach by us. You come out, regular person learns the Mishabura. No reason why not to make a bracha. That's mamash and mechaba. Refuah that tastes good, machmana bracha. Zok Shevet HaKahasi. Again, he's a Belz of Dayan, Shammai Kahas, his name is. And he says, he says like this, don't bring it right. He says, there's a shva halacha. Why? Because Shechanach later on in Reish Yud Sif Beis brings 2 days, imatoyim tavshel pachas me'aviyas u'bayleach. If you're just tasting a tavshel, you swallow it. In tzarech avarach. The Ramah says, there's 2 days in the Malchama. The Ramah says, brachas la'akal, sabbath brachas la'akal. Mishabura brings from many acherim that you don't make a bracha. So why, when I'm eating something before I make a bracha, my kavan is not to eat or drink this before. I'm just like tasting a tafshel. It's not better than tasting a tafshel. Tasting a tafshel has taste to it. So why is it different over here that I make a bracha? So it's Chaim bother with discussion. Zok to Shevet HaKahasi. How do you answer this question? Our Koch you need to say, when we said Shoysa Eichel it's refuah, it's talking about eating a kazayas or a viyas. You're eating a lot. That's not a tum. Therefore, then you make a bracha. If you're just eating one tum, there, even though it tastes good, you don't make a bracha. That's how he answers this theory. That's why he says, eating a tum eating malanta, whatever it is, you don't make a bracha even though it tastes good. Children's talent, you're having a teaspoon, that's not better than any time, therefore you don't make a bracha.
What if it doesn't taste good, like old Alka-Seltzer without the flavor?
Yes, that's okay, you don't make a bracha. The only reason why I make a bracha is only because it tastes good. If something doesn't taste good, you say don't make a bracha. So he tells you, but I see by Meta Emes, when I'm did just to taste it, oh, Dr. Belowi, a push the zach, what the Shevet HaKodesh is saying is a massive chiddush. Over there, I'm just doing to taste. I don't want to eat it, b'chlal. If someone else would tell me that this food is good, I'm out of it. Well, I'm not looking to eat this food. So therefore, I don't make a bracha. Masha'en came by refuah, when I'm tasting the Tylenol, the Tums, I want to eat that. A push the kasher below is asking, and the Shevet HaKodesh is Miravs and Iger. I let we can't fragen. But the mice is Miravs and Iger, and I think it's too big of a chiddush. So it's a tzarech in God on the Shevet HaKodesh. So let's go back to what we hold. The violet, we're back to our machava. Don't make the roots, don't ask steers to make the roots. Sish can steer b'chlal. Back to our machava, sifches. If Tom tastes good, you should make a bracha. But we want to taina in ganzen ansh. And I hold this is mamash de la halacha. Over here, what's the machaba say? The machaba says, kol ha'oichlin v'hamashkin. She'adam oichel v'shoyse l'refuah. If it tastes good, machman bracha. What's oichel and hamashkin? A food. Is Tom's a food? It's calcium, it's chalk. Is Tylenol a food? No. That's not what the Mechaber was talking about. The Mechaber was talking about the eating food that doesn't taste good. Do you make a bracha for a food? You're eating it for a food. The mushal. Someone has a diabetic, and he needs to go ahead now and eat sugar, whatever it is, and that to take him out or to put him in, whatever it is, right? So now we tell you, does that taste good? Yes. Then make a bracha. If it doesn't taste good, don't make a bracha. You're eating a piece of cake because you need it for a food. What? Never happened yet. The cake's going to be a food for you, but I can upon him. So therefore, you're eating cake, you're drinking something for a food. It tastes good. Machman bracha. It doesn't. This is not called the eichel. Tums are not called the eichel. Therefore, since it's not called the eichel, you don't make a bracha.
You don't keep right side.
So that's a good question. Shleiman just asked if we're being so makel over here, what happens if you don't kippur? You chayiv or not? I'm too scared to answer that. That's cars. Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. So I saw this also. The Minchas Asher says this also. This Minchas Asher we do understand, and he says also that it has to be Eichlin Mashkin. There's no Shulchan Aruch about our case. If someone eats a piece of wood and says, I love this piece of wood, you make a bracha, it's good for him for a food. Right? That's not Eichel. It has to be. Coming out, vitamins you don't have to make. No matter what. Doesn't have Shem Eichel. You give a child Tylenol, doesn't have Shem Eichel. Now the question is, but Lamaisa, there's taste in there. That taste, you should make a bracha on that taste. It means like this. The Tylenol itself, Chmishka goes to doctor or a chemist or anything like that. But there's two things, when it has a taste, there's two things in that piece. That means there's Tylenol without taste. Now they go ahead and they put in there some flavor. So why don't they make a bracha inside the flavoring? Good question. The teretz is that it's a tough. The Pischei Halacha.
Who's that?
The Pischei Halacha is a very, very chashuv yid. By me, he's the biggest in the HaRav. He's Rabbi Force from Farakov. You know what that is? The Talmud of Besmat Shayin. Elter Yid. Beautiful svarim. So he has a sefer called Pischei Halacha. It's out of print. Binyamin, right. Eden Bashwab. Yeah. Eden by Ramat Chashwab. By Ramat Chashwab, yeah. Very chashuv yid. You know? Big Talmud Chacham. So Bekitza, So he writes over there. The Shoyal asked him in the back of the sefer. You can't find the sefer anymore. It's out of print. In the back of the sefer, he brings the Shoyal asked him Shem Rabbi Yashiv that you should make a bracha on these vitamins not mitzad the vitamin, but mitzad this extra flavor that they're putting in. Flavor, you also make a bracha. That's what's giving it. That's giving it a taste. So this person wrote B'Shem Rav Yashiv. You have to make a bracha. So the Pischei Halacha Rabbi Forst says he starts crying l'chayra, but that might be a tafel. But since I'm not making a bracha on the ikr, maybe I should make a bracha on the tafel, because maybe the only time ikr paites a tafel is because I'm making a bracha on the ikr. But the ikr over here doesn't have a bracha because that's the talmud. So now I should make a bracha on the tafel. That's a big klal. We're not going to go into that now, but that's a big nice when we speak about ikr v'tafel. That's going to be a big shmuz. But that was the shmuz between Rabbi Yashiv. But that's a chiddush. L'maisa pashtus we come out that you do not have to make a bracha on that. Now, so what's the halacha l'maisa? Shlomo Zalman,
What bracha would you be making
on taste?
on the,
Shach.
making the calcium? So you're making a bracha on the sugar that's
Right, on that syrup, whatever they're putting in.
Bracha making sugar.
Right. Oh yeah, we'll get to the taste. But like upon him, l'maisa, I'm not saying there is a big machlokes of Paiskim. If David Feinstein told me, if Shlomo Miller told me that you do not make a bracha on vitamins, anything like that, even though it tastes good, you don't make a bracha. There are Paiskim, Rabbi Yashiv, Chaim Kanievsky, Moshe Matkakab told me that you do make a bracha. I feel very strongly, like this Minchas Asher, like this dik we have in the Shulchan Aruch, that it's not mistaber that the Shulchan Aruch wrote Kol Eichel V'Amashkin. He didn't have to give that akdama. He should have just said Kol Dava She'Eichel Shaisa L'Refuah. Why did he say Eichel and Umashkin they're eating for refuah?
Because vitamins and tums didn't exist in those days. Terrence said they did exist because they had herbs. They had that.
Show that herbs, right? Show that
They
thing.
had medicine.
So therefore, I tell people, you don't have to make a bracha. I tell you, I have enough to rely on. If David Feinstein, Shlomo Miller, they both agreed with me that you don't make a bracha.
Take away the water.
Drinking water doesn't help you.
Water.
You have to be litzimah. You have to take it with a drink of apple juice or orange juice or coffee, whatever it is. Then you would make a bracha on the coffee. But if you're drinking with water, avada, you don't make a bracha. Now, this is where I argued on Shlomo Miller. I felt so strongly that if so, anything that it doesn't matter how much medicine you're taking, you don't make a bracha because medicine is not an eichel. Now the shaila was Metamucil. Metamucil, let me explain what it is. Metamucil is fiber. It helps you with your stomach. People take it. It's a good drink. There's Kool-Aid in there. It looks like a regular Kool-Aid. You mix it in the drink, and people take it every day, a cup a day. It's very healthy, as far as I know. Maybe there's a lot of sugar in there, so maybe you have to take different time. But like upon him, there's some with flavor and some without flavor. That means that the fiber itself is nishkan eichel. So now I mix it along with water, and then it tastes good. Now it tastes good only because they put a taste to it. The shaila is, should I make a bracha on that sha'akal, drinking that cup of water? That's the shaila. What would you compare that? Why the ma'aser are for? Right. Yeah, okay. No, so you make a bracha. Okay, because over there you're eating the nigra. Here, inside the water, you wouldn't make a bracha because you're not thirsty. So, but I'm saying, but it doesn't matter. But the end of the day is, there's nothing over here that I really want. I'm doing it only outside. So over here, if Shlomo Miller told me that you should make a bracha, if you're drinking more than a revius, you should make a bracha. Because the only reason why you don't make a bracha is because it's daima timat emes, like we said before from the Shevet HaKahasi. But over here, where you're enjoying it and you're drinking a lot, machman bracha. So I told him, I don't understand. That's not the svara. The svara is, because like we said, it's not a eichel, it's not a mashka. This is right to not a eichel, not a mashka.
Same thing.
Same exact thing. So I asked David Feinstein, and David Feinstein was masking to me that you do not make a bracha. Yeah? If you're drinking 2 cups, 3 cups, machshachilik. If you're drinking Metamucil, you do not make a bracha.
Because the mice, it's medicinal purpose.
It's not a eichel, it's not a mashka. Even though it tastes good.
Oh, we got these guys today.
What about prunes?
Oh.
No.
Prune juice.
Prunes is
Or prunes.
it's not a prune. It hasn't changed.
So therefore, yeah, like this tzaddik is saying, my cigarette, prunes is a food. So prunes is a food, prune juice is also a food. it's hard to drink. It's not geschmack, but you're having a no. No?
If I'm gonna keep her for sure.
Now, if you're having a no, you're having a no, and therefore I think that you definitely make a bracha.
I do not have any hanok and schnapps. I do not make a bracha.
No. 1 second.
No,
You-
no.
The sign there before was there on ain't no.
Gasoline.
No like snap.
Okay,
You're not doing it.
1 second. We didn't see anywhere that if you're not having a no, you don't make a bracha. We saw that you're being forced. You're eating for a fool. Why are you eating the schnapps? Stam shaking about?
About wine, same problem with me.
Yeah.
I hate wine.
So why are you drinking?
So then I prepare government.
Oh, okay. 1 second. We'll get to that. What's that?
Ham is not a personal thing. It's not a thing.
Right.
You can't go and do, I like, no like. We don't make anyone-
Right. You'll never get to make brachas. So now again, that's not our sugya here today that much. That means we were discussing when you're really having a no. Just the question is you're being forced to eating for a fool, you this that. But stam to say that stam a person doesn't have a no, that's a whole different thing. That's a shmooze if someone doesn't have a no, if it's part of my brother. You know, many people don't have a no, but they know they have to eat supper. Right? No, you don't stam as I say that patters you from bracha. No such thing. So now again, so getting back to this. So I felt very strong that Metamucil is the same svara like we're saying over here. The same reason why you don't make a bracha on Tums, you don't make a bracha on Metamucil. Doesn't make difference how much you're drinking. The only svara in drinking was only to make it ice mitaemas. But we're not going with that svara. That was the Shevet Akasi. And below we said very good. That svara is shot. Because over there I'm not trying to eat it. When I'm trying to eat it, I'd rather make a bracha. So you can't be medama that b'chlal. So now I'm eating for a fool. Now, the problem is that when it comes to Metamucil, many times is that when you're eating that, when you're drinking that, some people, I don't know exactly how it works, but some people would have that by their supper table, and instead of having a cup of apple juice, they're going to eat the Metamucil. Sometimes your kids are standing next to you and they see a nice Kool-Aid drink, it tastes good. They'll say, okay, I want to eat it also. I want to drink it also. So over there, it could be it's unstuck the apple juice, I'm drinking Metamucil. I've had them having another tehillah that it's good for my stomach. But the etzim, it's part of my suda. You hear what I'm saying now? New svar. So since that's unstuck, the apple juice that I'm going to drink, the orange juice that I'm going to drink, so mela that became a mashke. So since that became a mashke, maybe you should make a bracha. You hear what we're saying, Rabbi Lowy? It means all the svaras were good till now. But over here it's shaykh that this now, no one's eating tums and says, you know what? Now I don't need to eat dessert because I had a tum. Yeah, I had a sweetener. You saw someone do that? Not yet, and it's not going to happen either. Because a tum is not unstuck the sweetener. Metamucil drink, now that you drank 2 cups or 1 cup of this Metamucil, you're not going to, normally you drink a cup of water after the Suda, now you're not going to drink it anymore because you had this Metamucil drink. So it became the chefze shtir. So therefore, that's where I'm having a hard time struggling with. It's not in the notes, obviously. It's a new svara. What? Because I see it's on shtar shtir. Tums, Tylenol. No one's going to say that I had a teaspoon of Tylenol. You know what? Now I'm not going to have soup because I had Tylenol.
And then if you saw.
Metamucil, you're not going to drink another 2 cups of soda because I had 2 cups of Metamucil.
I took water with the problem and I drank 2 cups of water. I'm not gonna
That's
drink
because water you don't make a bracha on, only for stomach.
You said it's part of the taking place in the drink. But maybe that proof to show that use could be a drink.
Right,
Not necessarily.
right. That's what I'm trying to say now. I'm trying to clear now that maybe that's Shlomo Miller, but Akapanan, maybe the pshat is by Metamucil. This is a start to drink. That means it's a drink. I'm looking at it as a drink. It's got a healthy drink. Let's say you have a smoothie. You know today's smoothies? You never saw that color in your life. A green drink, yeah? There's no sodas, no nothing. It's a green drink. They put in leaves and who knows what. And it's very healthy.
What about something they feed to older people that has vitamins?
Ensure. Yeah, very good. No? Yeah, ensure. What is that made out of? Question, I don't know what the thing is.
But it has a lot of chocolate in it, so it tastes.
It's chocolate in it? And you have to make, no, but is that the tuffle? Is that just like the sweetener?
That's sweet.
So what is it? What is ensure?
It's
nutrients, whatever nutrients.
It says right, they're not food.
It's designed, no, it's designed to take the place of food. It's
Oh,
like a transfusion. High calories. People who don't eat high calories.
But it's
Wow.
fair, it's good.
In my family, there's somebody who just lives basically on the shore.
wow. Older person.
Yes,
Thank
but
you, sir.
it became a
So I'm
drink.
saying, it became a drink. So now we're saying it's svara. They make a bracha? You don't know. I'm sure they do. No, I'm sure they do. No. So we're saying now that that's why we have a very stark svara to say you make a bracha, because if that it became, so that by you became a drink.
The Michael.
Now you're a bit lowy. So I got the svara the way we're saying now. Because even though the etzim, it's not an oichel, but that now became an shtat oichel male, that made it into oichel.
Sort of like an achrei, something.
Right, that became an oichel today. Even though Tarnel can't become oichel because that's eating a teaspoon, so that can become achshave. But over here, since I'm drinking so much of it, this became unstuck.
Hey, it's still not a food. The only thing you but something it's easy to ask for something else.
But ensure. That's your fear. That's your supper. So if that's your supper, so I say that's where I'm change my, instead of eating potatoes, I'm eating ensure. So now that's where I'm getting my koach from, and that's oichel. So therefore, we're coming out today that very mistaber that you make a bracha. Anyways, you have a military lion that he holds always metamusi make a bracha. But I'm saying even if David Feinstein that argued it's shaykh that the machlekes is only because that doesn't have a shem eichel to it. But today, when you're doing that and start the eichel, that would get it in eichel, and that you would make a bracha. Yeah, this is how we're coming out of the mice now. A feeding tube? No, that's not the feeding. Yeah, that's like a that. They don't make a bracha. No, I need a mice now. So it comes out again. Let's just make somewhat of a sikkum. If a mother forces a child to eat, we agree that you make a bracha. That's pasha. Because the maisa and the svara in it, we're still dabbling on a little bit. We're trying to say a pshat, maybe the mechasasha, maybe us, whatever it is. But like upon him, you're eating a kedarach achila and you're eating regular food, so you make a bracha. The shaila just is when I'm eating medicine that tastes good, do I make a bracha? Is that the mechabes din, or that's not the mechabes din? The mechabes meant eichel mashkim. So we're saying a murder chiddush that if we're right in the diak of the mechaber, and the mechasasha is also going with that, then it comes out very interesting. The mechaber has his brachas tens of simonim. This thing about medicine, he just didn't discuss. Not him, not the Mishavur. Like we said, there were medicines around those times, herbs. Right? There was such a thing as a medicine, and the mechaber for some reason never discussed it. Right. I'm saying, so for some reason, no such mechaber. We made a diak in the mechaber and said, oichlin and mashkin means real food. So such a diak, and we knocked out that today there's no more such a thing as a medicine. That's pretty sharp. No? We came out of halacha because the mechaber said the word oichlin and mashkin. Look how much we're being medayik. The mechaber said the word oichlin and mashkin. The mechaber was only talking about food. When there's no food, there's no chiddush. Is that a chiddush? Come out of halacha l'mais like that? I think that's a big chiddush. So the only reason to say is like this. The mechaber doesn't talk about eating, someone's going to eat a piece of wood. There's no mechaber either. It means it doesn't need to be spoken about. We're saying a chiddush now. We're saying that the mechaber doesn't have to talk about something which is not food. We're talking to the malamention. Something which is not food and you're eating, you're eating for food, but it's not food. We don't need a mechaber to discuss that. Mechaber doesn't have to give the dinim to someone that's eating something which is not.
But he did discuss it. That's called oichlin and mashkin.
Right, so that's oichlin.
Not the deal. That he did discuss it by making that deal.
But if you don't make the diak, then he discussed it. We're trying to say that the diak is a diak. That means he never discussed our medicines. So we're saying that again. I agree. You know, I watch in yeshiva to have this.
That's called oichlin and mashkin. Not a Michael.
But not talking about something.
So I'm saying so the mechaber is not talking about something that's so negated. This is around for thousands of years, herbs and all that.
You have to go through all the Gemaras and talk about refuahs, some of the strange things that they say.
Right.
You have to go through all of them and see that it's not, they're not our method.
Right. I'm saying so it comes out of murder. The chiddush that we're saying la halacha. You know, I see sometimes in yeshiva you have thousands of people, and you have the Tums box over there, the Tums cabinet, and some people make a shackle loud, and some people just walk down without the shackle. So there's a HBrachos over here. There's a machlekes. Personally, what I do, I don't make a bracha because I hold this dik is so stark. Well, the Maisa, I'm at a musel not to make a bracha. That's already a chiddush. Don't fancy Taka told me you don't make a bracha, but we're saying now the main me met a musel comes la fuke, just that knage of going ahead and not making a bracha. Okay. Next week we're gonna move on. Next service, right? Yeah.
What would you, in your mind, should be?
I think. Okay, well, I'll discuss it. Yeah, you'll come. We all.
Okay, everybody say.